You are listening to the Beaverton, North America's trusted source of news.
This week on the Beaverton, Chrystia Freeland steps down from the cabinet to become Canada's envoy to Ukraine. Freeland is looking forward to destroying the Russian invasion with the same efficiency she destroyed Justin Trudeau's political career. Alberta reworked its book ban to protect the classics while eliminating pornography. Because, as the U.S. Supreme Court once said, I don't know how to define pornography, but I know it wasn't written before 1995. And Robert Redford passed away at 89. To honor his memory, be sure to gather your family to watch one of his films and try not to notice how horny your mom gets. That's right, it's time to make fun of the news once again on the Beaverton Weekly Report. Welcome to the show, everyone. So glad you are tuning back in. I'm your host, Luke Gordon-Field. We are very excited to be back with you all. We decided not to just randomly disappear for 6.5 years again, much as that would have been great commitment to the bit, as I said ad nauseum before we went on break, because there's just so much to talk about. And joining me to talk about it are three of our regular panelists, all of whom demanded millions in no-show endorsements to return to the podcast. Ian MacIntyre, Clare Blackwood, and Nile Seguin. Welcome, all of you.
Woohoo.
Hello.
Good Imagine if we had all fallen into comas and woken up 6 years later, though.
No one would ever believe us because like, yeah, we got it. It was a coma, sure. You're not just doing that stupid bit you talked about a lot, Luke.
Then they'd feel bad.
Yeah. And that's how we win. Well, thank you all for being here. How was your hiatus? How was your break of a month and a half?
It was
Ian's smiling and laughing,
but didn't say words.
I think our brains just tried to
someone got buried.
Process what has just happened in the past month. Mm-hmm. And then my brain just went, no, you just went camping. Just block all that other stuff out. I went camping and I had a nice time and I saw a billion Blue Jays games. So,
hey, that sounds like a hell of a Canadian summer to me.
Blue Jays games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's a whole like, oh, did we miss anything while we were gone? Like, August is traditionally the slowest month, and it actually was quite a slow month until the last week, and then things kind of popped off into high gear.
But then it was like giving us material, getting us ready for this week's show. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Well, let's talk about it. We'll talk about the big news story south of the border that is also weirdly north of the border.
Everywhere.
But first I want to talk because this week, obviously, Parliament resumed, and with it brought back the return of Pierre Poilievre, the now once again leader of the opposition. Andrew Scheer has been displaced and is back just to
again. He's used to it.
Yeah.
The return of Poilievre sounds like a shitty Star Wars movie.
Yeah. I was playing parody lyrics to The Return of the Mac in my head, and it's so much less cool. But Return of the Pierre. Anyways, but yeah, so conservatives have to pretend they're happy to have their leader back.
Oh man, they got a glimpse. They got a glimpse of life without him, and that is his worst fear.
I was having such a nice dream that he got, chased away by a bull in Alberta or something like that.
Yeah, one of those free range bulls. Yeah. Now that he's back, this is a softball that you all will hit back into my face. But now that he is back, and he's not just running in Alberta anymore, and he's back in the national spotlight, do you think there's any chance that Poilievre back in Parliament moderates, by which I mean just like tries to come off slightly less like an asshole?
Absolutely. He's a new man. Next question.
I don't think Poilievre has like a let's work together instinct in his body. You know how people have like, they say that your instincts are fight, flight, and fawn? I feel like his are just fight, and fight.
Yeah. Fight, and smug.
The little known fourth instinct. Natural selection is brutal on the fight, smug.
I don't need to outrun the bear. I just need to make this face at him.
Sure.
Pick him in your by apple.
Sure is a very popular last word amongst the smug reflex.
My favorite smug thing he did yesterday was he tried to play it all off. Like he was like, oh, I was away because I was busy speaking to a bunch of very important people in Alberta, which I'm pretty sure he said because he forgot the name of his own riding.
Yeah.
Didn't he screw it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, he totally did. He messed it up.
He's not even off book. He's had an entire month and he's not off book. This is amazing.
Battlefoot, Crow River, something like that.
And it's kind of a cool name, isn't it?
It's dope as hell.
How do you forget? Okay.
Yeah, it's Battle River Crowfoot, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Battle River, right? You're not forgetting Battle River.
No.
Unless you're the MP of Battle River.
Who definitely went there and didn't just screen himself in the entire time.
Yes, yeah. I mean, we joked before about him not doing very well in the by-election. He ended up doing very well. We got to give him that. I mean, I know it's the most conservative riding.
We don't need to hand that to him. We don't need to hand that to him.
Little kids do real good at t-ball too, Luke.
Maybe you haven't met my children. It's possible to strike out a t-ball.
We just lost 2 tiny listeners.
I feel like this would be more like Bo Bichette going in and playing t-ball, and they're just like, "Good luck, Bo," and then he just kicks their asses.
Yeah. But so, Carney and Poilievre did shake hands, and then, it jumped into question period. And, Carney has had, since obviously Poilievre was there when he first became prime minister. But since the election, Carney has had, sort of soft kid gloves and Andrew Scheer very well moisturized milk gloves to be dealing with. Sorry, but so how do you think
you drink 1 glass of milk?
No. He was photographed at a Conservative Party event drinking from the carton. Okay, he owns this. It's not going away, and he also got elected by backing the dairy lobby. That was one of the main reasons they chose him over Bernier back in the day. Anyways, that we don't need to go into that bit of political history. But how do you think Carney? Do you think Carney is prepared to deal with Poilievre's particular brand of anger and smugness during question period?
I feel like at some point he's just going to go full dad and just insist and put Poilievre in a timeout. Like he's just going to tape out a corner of the room. And just every time he does his little shit things, he's just going to be like 5 minutes in the corner. Like put a little dunce hat on. Because what else can you do? I don't think he's prepared. But then he's not a career politician. He doesn't have the little quips and the zingers. And
yeah, there has been moments. I'm very curious to see if because he's had some time to get into it.
Yeah.
But he's clearly had moments when he first was starting, he had moments of CEO vibes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He just
absolutely.
relapsed into what was it? Touch grass or look inside yourself or something like that. Who is he talking to? He was talking to a reporter and he told her she needs to look inside herself.
I vaguely recall what you're saying.
And
I don't remember his phrasing.
And it was one of those things where I'm like, wow, what do you, no, wrong room.
But that's the thing is because Carney can't hide the fact that he thinks all politics are stupid.
yeah.
The politics side of doing politics he thinks is dumb, which is bad when you are the prime minister of a country.
Yeah. I think he thinks all of Parliament and generally is just obstacles to be overcome to do what he is going to do anyway.
Yes.
Which, don't get me wrong, I understand that mindset because it's I get it, the opposition parties, and it's I gotta rely on 1 vote or 2 votes from these fucks to get what I want.
Yeah.
And that's a pain in the ass. And I get that line of thinking, but it is also very much not conducive to any kind of smart unifying political brand. Again, the idea of a minority government, which I know is not often the reality, is parties are forced to work together for the betterment of our country. And what it is clearly going to be under Carney is him holding a gun to them being I'll go to an election right fucking now. You say the time because the polls are in my favor. We'll do it anytime you want. Try voting no confidence on me. That's fine by me because then I get the election without the cost of everyone blaming me for the election.
Yeah.
So it's not conducive at all to any kind of coalition building, it seems like. So,
I kind of want him to break bad and say all of those things out loud. Just show up, untucked shirt, no tie, just a gun in his pants for some
under
reason.
his nose.
Yeah, just doing rails off of the bench. No confidence? Anybody? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I didn't fucking think so.
But still a 32-slide PowerPoint where he goes through his presentation of why he will dare them all to do an election.
Yeah. But very intensely and quickly because he's got some really good coke.
Say my fiscal policies.
Jesus.
I am the one who banks.
Hey. Why are you looking so bad at this? These are right up your alley. How are you? I've known you for so long. These are exactly the kind of jokes you know and love and make regularly.
Yes, I do.
Wow.
In my mind, I was like, does this have to be the title card for the YouTube image on this week's episode? It might.
I am the one who yes.
Well, anyways, so let's talk about what Carney's agenda for this, Parliament is. He's unveiled the 5 big nation-building plans that were, it was his big one of his big campaign when he was running for leader and then for PM in the general election was, we're going to do these nation-building big things. And we're not just going to nickel and dime it anymore. We're going to get ahead of housing crisis, energy crisis, cost of living, et cetera, with these massive nation-building projects. And he announced them, and it's just all stuff that was already basically in the works. Which I know is not shocking, but I was a little bit surprised it was that. Like, it's phase 2 of the LNG Canada pipeline. It's a new nuclear project in Clarington. It's the Port of Montreal. A mine in Saskatchewan and a mine in BC. All of which were basically approved and happening. He's essentially giving more money to things that were going to happen anyways, and making it so that the private organizations that were doing them don't have to pay as much. Okay, and I get that that's politics 101. Slap your name and take credit for something that was happening without you in the room. Fine, but
that's why I'm on this show.
But couldn't he at least Trudeau announced high-speed rail. Mm-hmm. He could have just done it with high-speed rail, and at least that would have been something that people were actually excited about, instead of phase 2 of a natural gas pipeline in rural Alberta.
Sure, Trudeau announced high-speed rail. Did he build high-speed rail? No.
Boom, Trudeau.
Yeah. I don't think that guy has a future in this country. For sure. I know, the high-speed rail was a politician on his way out the door throwing all the spaghetti and money against the wall to see what will stick. I totally get that. But it is a thing that is so dumb we don't have, because you look at our population distribution, and you look at every other country except for the United States, or even actually a lot of the United States within the Northeast, where there actually is good rail service, and you say, okay, to get from Windsor to Quebec City takes 1 billion hours, or we could build this thing and massively improve our infrastructure and people's ability to commute for work, to pray.
Those people who commute from Toronto to Montreal.
People commute from Windsor to Toronto all the time.
The people commute from Ottawa to Toronto?
Yeah, totally.
Instead of doing
I
a border flight,
I understand going from the end of the line to the end of the line would not be the way to do it. But it's going from part of the line.
From downtown Quebec City all the way to Ajax.
I think you mean Centreville. Thank you.
Yeah, all right.
Most of the time you're working remotely, but there's 15 minutes of the day where you're in the office and then it's back over.
I want high speed between Toronto and Montreal, so I can have Montreal rent and just commute into Toronto. That's all I want.
I fell for it, guys. When the announcement came out, I was so excited.
Oh, really? Oh.
Like an idiot. I feel so dumb.
You believe the government would do a thing the government said they were going to do?
Did.
Wow.
Shit, maybe Mark Carney is good at politics.
I think it's just because I wanted it so much that I was it doesn't matter who's saying it. I was really wanted it. I was it's going to happen. It's Niall, come on.
But I mean, you shouldn't have to think you're an idiot for thinking that. We live in a world where you shouldn't be dumb for that.
No.
As we pointed out many times.
This is how badly I've been broken.
Yeah, our reactions are the sad ones.
Yeah.
As we pointed out many times, this is Niall's bad news podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, between that for Carney and the plans that were already happening, and as you might recall from again the election, his big thing about we're not just gonna no longer are we just gonna give tax incentives to corporations to build homes, and we're not just gonna loosen regulations with municipalities and change that. We're gonna actually build motherfucking homes. And then the details came out, I think just today or maybe it was yesterday, and it's basically we're gonna give tax incentives to developers to build on our land. Yeah. We're going to build 4,000 homes. And originally it seemed like he was saying we're going to give them $13 billion to build 4,000 homes. And people did some math and were like, that's $3.7 million a home on land you already own.
So
that's
half
insane.
a Toronto home.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think it was a wording thing where it was we're going to build 4,000 to start. That's not all the $13 billion. But it still isn't great optics when people are like, you're building homes on land you own for $3.7 million.
Diamond encrusted homes.
Yeah, Mark Carney personally has to live in all these homes, and they have to be to a standard that Mark Carney would live in. So it just feels like this. And look, I know, we knew to a degree what we were getting with Carney. We knew he was a conservative and liberal clothing. But this feels like a real 1-2 of nothing's going to get better, guys. Don't worry. Mark Carney's here to make sure nothing gets better.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how much he works with the NDP and people left of him, as opposed to the Conservatives.
Yeah, well, I mean, so far it's mostly been going the other way. Now with Poilievre in town and his general refusal to ever work with anybody about anything, that might change. But even the Bloc are very opposed to pipelines and natural gas exploitation. So he's losing them on that. And obviously, I don't think, any of these like 5 big projects are really going to get much support to the left of him. Maybe the home thing will to some degree, because any political position where you take a stand against building homes is going to look pretty bad right now. So maybe he can get some NDP and Bloc support for that.
How hard can it be to get the NDP on your side? It's like one guy. Take him out to like Buffalo Wild Wings and hang out one night. Make him your buddy. It'd be great.
Yeah, do like full on like the movie Lincoln where they go one by one bribing people, but it's just 5 NDP MPs and a trip to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh my God, I want to write the next big musical about this. Someone call Lin-Manuel Miranda.
A much less inspiring Hamilton.
There's going to be a rap about every single flavor of wing. It's going to be amazing.
A much less inspiring Hamilton should actually be the title, right? Obviously, that is what we have to go with.
No, it's just called Hamilton in parentheses, Ontario.
Yeah.
Wild Wings.
I did want to mention one last thing quickly about the 5 projects that Carney put out. So of the 5 projects, it's natural gas, nuclear power, shipping expansion, copper mine, and a different copper mine. What's going on with Canadian copper right now? What is he not telling us?
Is it having a moment?
Apparently,
Should we invest?
Okay.
Get in on the ground floor,
Guys, sign up for our Patreon so we can invest in Canada's new copper mines.
apparently it's the next hot thing.
Bye.
Yeah, this is an investment podcast now. Invest in copper, I guess. I don't know.
Copper's the new crypto. Get in, you guys.
You
Get
heard
in.
it here first.
You're welcome.
The ads on investment podcasts versus the ads on comedy podcasts is just such a disparity that honestly it might be worth it. We'll lose 90% of our listeners and make more money. We don't even have ads on this thing.
We really don't know.
Welcome to the Copperton podcast, everyone.
Let's start making our own ads. That's how you get momentum going. Right? It's like when you put like a little thing outside of the club to make it look like a lot of people want to get it.
Like our own fake ads, so to court real ads.
Oh, I want to be clear. We absolutely could have ads. We're not doing it because of the Patreon, and we don't want to do both. But I appreciate your concern. But yeah,
let's do the ads anyways. This is brought to you.
You know what?
I tried to. Oh, Nestle. Yeah. It took me a second to think of the worst corporation.
You know what? I'll throw in some free copper ads and just see if some money comes our way.
Nice.
You guys like pennies? I know they're not in circulation anymore, but I've heard it's really good for plumbing.
They're collector's items. Yeah, copper.
Yeah.
What you do is you go into an abandoned house and you strip it.
Yeah, go full bubbles from the wire. Yeah.
Oh God, is that what Carney's doing? He's stripping all the copper out of Canada before he disappears?
That's the quote unquote other copper mine. It's just him going to houses high on coke.
That's how he's building the new
Stripping
houses.
copper.
He's stripping the copper out of the old houses.
Just been spotted outside of Hamilton. I feel like that was Mark Carney.
I think we've proven we don't know how mines work.
Or advertising.
Excuse me, I don't know how
Or
anything
investing.
works. I object.
Oh, fuck. All right. Well. So yeah, we'll see what Carney has in store, but it does seem like it's mostly just don't worry, nothing will change or get better in any way. Yeah, I'm trying to bring it back. Okay, I'm trying to bring it back.
We're absolutely getting disappeared because we were totally right about that second copper mine. Well, we were absolutely. He's got teams of guys out there stripping copper from houses.
Well, guys, hope you enjoy our one final podcast episode.
Well, speaking of things we can get disappeared for, let's talk about Charlie Kirk.
Guys, I can't lie.
That is. Wait, we got a chapeau for that segue. Come on,
you.
that was
outstanding.
Okay.
I do a lot of thinking.
Not
in
to
this podcast.
SRONDs, but that's pretty good.
I must admit that I'm sad about Charlie Kirk for many reasons, but one of them is just that I keep hearing the word Kirk, and I keep thinking that people are going to start talking about Alejandro Kirk, who's the catcher of the Blue Jays, who is significantly cooler, way cooler in all ways.
Tell us about Alejandro.
And then I'm just disappointed as hell.
I'm dead serious. This is your moment. This is your moment to tell us about Alejandro.
He is the shortest, most delightful man.
It's sexy.
He's a round ball of physical human being.
Okay.
He's
the best defensive catcher in baseball,
Is
and
he
he's also
really?
one of our best hitters. Yes.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
amazing.
shit.
And
I'm always excited when we have the best of something.
Yeah.
he's great, and he's fully a circle man. He's a circle human being.
really
He
fixated
scored.
on
His
this.
circle.
He played.
Yeah,
he's
I got
played
thing.
572, at the time he played like 572 games in the majors, and he just stole his first base like a month ago.
Good for him.
That's this kind of
great.
that's who this man is. And people
great.
gave him a standing ovation at the Rogers Center, and they took the base. Anyway, we were so off track.
It was pretty insulting, really.
I really, I feel like
Amazing.
lovely.
It was wonderful.
That's
He was so
accidentally
happy.
mean.
No, he knows who he is.
Yeah.
He knows who he is. Literally,
He's also probably a
the
millionaire,
coach at
right?
first was
He's
like,
fine. He's
"Hey
fine.
man, you're gonna go on this one. You're gonna steal the base." And he literally was like, "Are you serious?"
This has been the most discussed news story of the past week, and I guarantee we are the only podcast that is focusing on a Blue Jays
Find your
pitcher.
niche.
Okay.
Find your niche.
Anyway, I had to
Copper
say that.
and bases. That's
Yeah,
what we
anyway.
do.
It's a nice gradual buildup of like people know we're going to talk about it, but we haven't talked about the Grizzly details. So that's nice.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the Grizzly details. The video was horrifying. If you've seen it, I'm sorry. If you haven't seen it, good for you for avoiding that. It's it's horrific. It's an atrocity. There's nothing but sympathy for Charlie Kirk's wife and his kids.
Oh yeah, obligatory disclaimer that we are against extrajudicial murder of human beings.
You know what? Yeah, but in this climate, necessary disclaimer.
Just covering our bases.
I know we should not have to say that, but we will.
Can we? Yeah. Can we just do for future reference? And just be like for future reference.
Blanket statement.
Yeah.
We'll just list
Going
every
forward.
conceivable public figure that could get murdered and be like, opposed to that one too.
We don't like murder.
That
you
feels
go.
like we're
good.
creating a list for people to murder.
If we were worried
And then if we
before-
forget one name,
As soon as I said it out loud, yeah, that felt bad.
someone on the Patreon, sweet.
Yeah. Also, why did they write "don't" in such small letters?
Is this a
white
wink
font?
situation?
Yeah. They wrote it in white font on a white background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, yes. So before we talk about the latest, which is going to be the backlash to anyone saying anything negative about Kirk, the one thing that I think was reported on, but has maybe been lost in the shuffle the last few days, is when the news broke and the first video were populating, there was a guy in the crowd who got arrested, who everyone thought did it. He didn't at all. He was just I think a kind of local coot, and like the authorities were like, that guy. And it was like,
Local
okay.
coot, great job.
Yeah, and he was saying some crazy shit, so they were like, oh, he definitely did, even though he has
Didn't
no
he
gun.
show and I do it again?
Yeah, he
Is
showed
something-
that because again, maybe not in his most rational state of mind at the moment. But that guy vaguely looked like a man in Canada who people just found online and were like, he did it. He's also bald. There's only two.
Love it.
And so this guy was just walking around Yorkdale, with his wife. And just shopping and having a day out.
Amazing.
And then his phone starts blowing up with a million right-wingers threatening his life because he killed Charlie Kirk as he's debating whether to have New York fries or A&W for lunch.
I feel like this is the weird Canadian version of The Hangover.
He didn't
what
remember
did I
doing it.
I don't remember that movie.
Yeah.
But then they knew that there was no way it could have been him because there's no way he could have got from Utah to Yorkville fast enough on the 401.
Because we don't have high-speed rail. Boom. Bringing it all back.
Bringing it back, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy day. That is a absolutely insane day for that man.
Did they? I meant to look this up. Did they do a Google image search and he was just close?
I have no idea where it started.
I literally thought it was. Oh wait, sorry, the Canadian guy.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, never. I don't.
Yeah, I think it was purely just someone said it was him,
That's
and then it
amazing.
just spread like wildfire. The way this has happened before with other crimes that were happening in real time. I remember the Boston bomber. Everyone online was like, "It's this guy," and it wasn't him at all. The marathon bomber, and this is not the first time the internet's been wildly wrong. It is crazy. No one thought to Google location. They were just
Really
this
insane.
guy probably flew to Utah to do this for no reason. It was a insane circumstances. Obviously, I'm sure that man and his family are incredibly traumatized by the ordeal, and I'm so sorry that happened.
Because there's at least one person out there who's like, I know you did it.
Yeah.
they still think
Way
they
to
did
shake
it.
the cops off.
Because they have no idea where Toronto is. They're like, if you drive fast enough. It's like, no, dude, you don't understand.
Yeah. Luigi and Mangione went to McDonald's. This guy went to A&W.
Yeah, you got that, murderer burger.
Murder burger.
Murder burger.
Murder burger.
that three
Okay,
times
but
fast.
so the situation as it is currently is that there is now this movement among the right that, I would argue that a lot of media and centrist people are helping along, which is anyone who does not treat Charlie Kirk like he is the second coming of Jesus himself is now getting fired from their job, canceled. You know, like a Washington Post columnist was fired literally for just quoting his words accurately that he said about black women not having the brain power to get jobs themselves. So they have to take white women's spots. Like, that's where we're at, where there is now, it's like, you know, 1950s McCarthyism.
How dare you quote America's sweetheart like that, Luke?
Like, you have to, like, again, it's a tragedy. He did not deserve anything that happened to him along those lines, and or even any kind of violence he did not deserve. But to treat Charlie Kirk as if we're talking about someone, like, the facts are the facts. This is a guy who said those things, who did those things, who delighted in suffering on the other side. And I will say about the people who are using this as a way to wage war on the left and anyone who speaks out against Charlie Kirk's ideas, they're probably right in that is something Charlie Kirk would absolutely want them to do.
Oh, he'd be down for that for sure.
Which is
1,000%.
which is another reason that Charlie Kirk does not deserve this kind of canonization.
He's a podcaster. He's got people around the world now.
Hold on.
Politicians just give us.
Do we know where Charlie Kirk was when he was shot? Maybe he
Yes.
has the most motivation. No.
And that's
It's a deep fake.
I'm gonna out conspiracy every lunatic out there. Charlie Kirk did it. What?
I'm now just personally worried that there's a target on all of our backs.
Yeah.
We're doing a podcast right now.
I just feel like that for the people who have, you know, the last couple of years have just been so up in arms about the idea of witch hunts. You know what I mean? So against witch hunt. This is the clearest example of a witch hunt I've ever seen. Like, going, you know, people being like, it's not this, and they're like, well, it is though. They're like, but here's the evidence that he's not, and they're like, he is. There's no evidence. They have their target, and they're going for it. It's just I realize that we could wax poetic about the hypocrisy of the Republican Party forever.
Yeah,
but
well, what one person did, like Matt Walsh, not the actor, but the podcaster and right-wing dude who is, you know, even maybe further to the right than Charlie Kirk on some things, he came out and said, what we're doing is not cancel culture because we're canceling you for saying untrue things, whereas you canceled us for saying true things, like insert transphobic, racist statements.
Right.
Which is obviously untrue and just creates a situation where, so it can never be cancel culture on your mind because it's an ends justify the means. So in your mind, the right can never commit cancel culture because no matter what, the people on the left are saying wrong, bad opinions, and the people on the right who were canceled were saying good, smart opinions. And so it's the most stark illustration of my team can do no wrong, your team can do no right, and if you disagree with me, you hated Charlie Kirk and you deserve to be fired from your job.
yeah, Charlie Kirk, who nobody quotes, by the way. Like,
Except for people who get in trouble.
Except for the people who get in trouble. Like, none of the little eulogies, none of the people saying he was an angel, baby, saint, like, none of them are really saying what he said because they can't.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, though. One of the interesting things about Kirk, interesting, vile, whatever, is he was very much different things to different people. I don't know if you saw this post that's going around, someone talking about, like, I talked to my friend who's kind of a political normie. They don't really follow this stuff. And they were like, oh, it's such a shame that guy got killed. And then I was like, yeah, but he did all that bad stuff. Not to justify it, but just saying, like, he was this guy. And they had never heard any of that.
Yeah.
And this person was like, I showed them a bunch of quotes from him. And they're like, I never heard any of this. And then that person showed the quotes they were getting from Charlie Kirk. And it's all like, I'm a presentable looking young guy who's trying to engage young people in politics and do debate. And I'm Christian and I have 2 kids. Like, that all sounds very nice because Charlie Kirk understood that his greatest strength was code switching, that he could be different things to different audiences and have the plausible deniability all the time of, yes, I say vile, horrible, offensive, racist things on one side, but if you try and catch me on it, I'm actually just this nice little boy who does politics the right way. And, you know.
And I went in the pure spirit of debate to these college campuses, which was definitely about reaching across the aisle and not at all about getting heavily edited YouTube content that I could package as Charlie Kirk owns the libs at insert university here.
All uppercase. Always uppercase.
Always.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a lot of comedians pointing out, like, oh, he used to do crowd work. That's it. It's like when stand-up comedians get clips of themselves making fun of an audience member, the comedian is in control that whole time. There's not actually a debate happening there.
Yeah, you're never like, oh no, what if the comedian doesn't come out well on the other side of this?
On this clip they posted.
Yeah, exactly. They always will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Listen.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I feel like we're close. I can't lie to you guys. I'm going to come out to you on this. I spent all of August just protecting my peace. I have no idea what was going on, except for like a few news items. I don't know who Charlie Kirk is. And I highly recommend doing it because I know I'm looking at you all getting very upset. So clearly he probably wasn't good.
Bear in mind, most people don't know who Charlie Kirk is.
I know he got shot.
Yeah.
It seems bad.
I was going to say,
like, I'm not getting into this.
That's a really normal response. Most people don't know who Charlie Kirk is.
Yes.
People who follow politics a lot are very familiar with him.
Yes.
He wasn't a super mainstream figure.
Yeah.
yeah. Which begs the question, like, why did this news story get all the attention when literally 3 months earlier, a Democratic politician, state politician, and her husband were murdered by a person for expressing their political views and voting their political views.
Well, they should have had a
that-
podcast.
I was going to say, I feel like that's not even a question that we really need to enter. You know what I mean? Like, no, I mean, it's perfect for the Republicans. It's perfect towards their goals of, like, immediately Trump, Vance, all these people are like, well, we're going to use this as an opportunity to crush any of our leftist opponents.
Yeah.
We're going after the activists. We're going after the organizations. We're doing all of this, regardless of who the shooter, because there's so much speculation to the point where I'm not even paying attention to it right now.
Oh, I thought they got the guy. They didn't get the
They did get the guy.
They did.
They got
But
the
like,
guy.
there's
The
just
motives.
speculation about, like, is he on the left? Is he a hardcore leftist? Is he a hardcore rightist? Is he a griper? Like, all this kind of stuff. I've stopped paying attention until we have answers. But they're gonna do this regardless.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that was the plan before, and now that Kirk happened, they're like, I guess it's still the plan.
Well, exactly. And so the fact that, when somebody asked Trump about Melissa, he was like,
Hortzman,
Hortzman, I don't remember. He was like, I don't remember who she is. Who is that?
Yeah. And like Republicans were online making jokes about her death.
Yeah.
Not like
Charlie Kirk
Charlie
was
Kirk
making fun of her husband. Was making fun of
Pelosi's
Paul
husband,
Pelosi.
Yeah. No, and Mike Lee, who's a prominent Republican senator, was posting memes joking about the guy who killed the
Hortzmans?
the state representative Hortzman. And so
Hortman, my bad.
sorry. So it's I get it. Obviously, he was a much more known national figure, and there's no reason for people who are listening to this who like you now are like, oh, I hadn't really heard of him before all this. Why are you guys talking about him as if he was this known evil entity? Because you're right, Ian. The people who follow him know what a lightning rod he was in right-wing circles, and what a kind of like movement he started with this whole, trying to get young people and especially young men to become conservatives.
Just a man with a dream and millions of dollars of far-right conservative funding.
Yeah, for sure. And the way they're trying to turn him into MLK, Bobby Kennedy, JFK, whatever, like, is insane. And I don't think it's actually
Not
going to
Malcolm
work.
X, he's too black.
Oh, well, there was multiple.
I thought you were saying Charlie Kirk was too black for anything? And I know you haven't seen him, but trust me, he's not.
There is multiple AI slop bullshit videos of Malcolm X and Charlie Kirk shaking hands because they were both outspoken.
Heaven.
Yeah, in heaven. Because they were both outspoken truth tellers who refused to back down in the face of criticism.
But that alienates everybody. I'm not a Charlie Kirk expert, but I get the feeling that his fans are not, and I'm profiling big Malcolm X fans. They're like, finally, so the fucking peanut butter and chocolate I've always wanted to see happen. I'm almost positive. I speak in ignorance.
No, but it's more like the Candace Owens thing of like, see a black person that agrees with us. Yeah. You can't take it back.
Yeah, but I mean, I think you're right that they wouldn't agree with anything Malcolm X ever said or did, but just the reputation Malcolm X had, of he stood up to the man and they killed him for it. And now Charlie Kirk stood up to the man, the liberals, in power and bullshit university groupthink and all that stuff, and they killed him for that. So just the idea that he died for a cause. And I will say he did die for a cause, but the cause was just a shitty cause. And it's horrific that it happened, and it never should have happened. And, obviously we could talk about gun reform or all of the stuff that Republicans will not use to not do in the wake of this, or mental health outreach and things like that. But the fact that he died for something he believed in doesn't mean what he believed in was good. It's still he was still a guy with very extreme views who delighted in the suffering of others as long as they were not on his team. And at the end of the day, you can try and gloss over all that and just try and make him a generic Republican who got murdered for having, family values and love Jesus and stuff. But it's simply not true.
But again, and it's also that thing to paint the left as like, see, they hate a guy who just wanted to do debate and had family values, and that's why we should
freedom.
An advocate for freedom, exactly. And it's just we were going to crack down on the left anyway, so now this is the reason, I guess.
He could have been Ben Shapiro. He could have been Matt Walsh. It could have been any one of those guys. It just happened to be him.
I mean, I think to Ian's point, Charlie Kirk being a young, handsome, adjacent guy with a wife and 2 kids, and
sorry, that's the meanest thing I could have possibly said about a man who was unfairly killed last week.
He was
Here I am, rating the conservative hunks over here. I don't know how I got into this part of the podcast.
Who's your favorite hot conservative?
Well,
just the face that you made was clearly he was like an upper band 4, lower band 5.
Fairly, before we started recording the podcast, I was talking about I would have jumped Robert Redford's bones.
Yes, but this got you in the wrong headset. We were all talking about how much we want to bang Robert Redford.
It's a high bar to get that E&D.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, you were making a real point, Luke, and I interrupted with nonsense?
I was going to segue away from this. This is what I was going to
do it.
I don't have an artful segue this time, so no need to applaud, but I was going to segue into a much more fun story to talk about, which is Kawhi Leonard and the no-show sponsorships, which I've never heard no-show in any context but the mob. So to constantly see on ESPN.com no-show endorsements, no-show sponsorships is just such a fun thing to see, because I'm like, it's just fully putting me in the mode of watching The Sopranos. But so if you haven't been keeping up, so Kawhi Leonard...
And I have not.
Yes, thank you.
No.
Kawhi is your Charlie Kirk.
Go, sports boys.
There we go. We've traded places now.
You gotta protect your peace, man.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard, who famously, of course, led the Raptors to the NBA championship in 2019 and then signed with the Clippers, has been caught up with this company who was also sponsored the Clippers, signing him to multi-million-dollar endorsement deals where he did nothing. He just got paid millions and millions of dollars by a company that was closely aligned with the Clippers, and that, as we've subsequently learned, Clippers owner Steve Ballmer and a junior owner whose name I forget were constantly investing money into that company.
David Wong,
that coincidentally happened to match about the amounts that they were owing Kawhi in these endorsement deals. So, of course, everyone is saying, hey, this is, a way to pay Kawhi more money than the salary cap would allow. And it seems like the most blatant salary cap cheating that we've ever seen. But how do you guys feel? First of all, does it seem that way to you? And also, is that bad? Like, do we care if a billionaire spent some money?
Before we get into it, I would like to say this is a lovely story for anyone who out there might just have gotten dumped. Here's my reasoning, because hear me out. I'll walk it out like Luke's with me. In 2019, when Kawhi walked, a lot of fans were gutted. A lot of Raptors fans were gutted. I wasn't, because I was like, we got fair trade. We got a championship. But a lot of people were like, no. But now, like, he's played just over 60% of games. He's always injured. Yeah. And he's cost them, not counting this, by the way, he's cost them $240 million. So if you just got dumped, maybe that's your Kawhi. Maybe like a few years from now, you'll be like, oh, thank God I lost that guy. Anyways, just putting that out there.
I like that.
Yeah, that's a very positive
As
outlook.
somebody who doesn't watch basketball, that makes me understand it.
Yeah. It was that is the worst win anyone has ever gotten, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is a great cheaters never prosper, basically, where it's like, because these guys, obviously this is recently, but the assumption a lot of people are making is that they were offering him this back in 2019 when he left the Raptors and joined the Clippers, and that basically Kawhi has a representative who's known throughout the NBA land as Uncle Dennis.
It's his uncle.
It's his Uncle Dennis.
Okay, good.
But it's just
that's a clever name, I guess.
No, it's not a nickname. Sorry, it's just everyone. You'll see headlines that are just like Uncle Dennis did this, and it's like, okay, Kawhi's Uncle Dennis, but they never said Kawhi's Uncle Dennis. They're just like, Uncle Dennis said this.
This Dennis sounds like a menace.
Oh, God damn it.
That was your segue right there.
Wasn't. But so going back in the Wayback Machine, there's also stories coming out about all the things that Uncle Dennis, on behalf of Kawhi Leonard, demanded of Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment when they were trying to negotiate a new contract for him back in 2019 after they won the championship, which included these no-show endorsements similar to got in LA and an ownership stake in the Maple Leafs. Sure. Interesting, he didn't want the Raptors. He just wanted the Leafs. He was like, let me get the more I want the prime rib, not the filet mignon over here. But yeah, if you were Kawhi Leonard's representative, what outlandish demands would you have made of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment and the telecoms that own it?
One night of passion with the Raptor.
Change the name of the keg to the Leonard.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
As long as I got the warm bread, I'm in.
I had coach-player foot massages, both giving and receiving. That's what I think he's into.
I think they demand that they have to hire a hacker to delete Kawhi's number from Drake's phone.
Oh, that would be very helpful for him.
I'd say finally tell him the secret way to get out of the path.
He's the one man who knows.
I think one of the demands was funding his new bat-flavored Gatorade plant in Wuhan.
Because this was 2019.
It's a thinker. It's a thinker.
Oh, I think the biggest demand, it was one, Canada's Wonderland Prestige Pass, which includes preferred parking, access to the Halloween haunt, and 2 free Bring a Friend tickets annually.
Oh my God.
Ooh, 2 annually.
Another thought I had was similar Toronto attraction, but he gets to wrestle one animal at the Toronto Zoo of his choice.
I mean, that would sell some tickets. Kawhi Leonard's gonna wrestle a badger? Let's go watch.
You picked the smallest animal.
Well, I don't think he would pick
no.
a lion.
Hold on, wait.
He gets to choose.
Wait, aren't badgers a problem?
Yeah, they are.
No.
really?
Are they
Badgers are small. Oh, we just saved your life. You were going to go out camp and be like, hey, badgers, watch this.
That was
kid.
my plans
I
tonight.
thought
You
that
were
was
gonna
honey
soup
badgers.
Honey badgers are the crazy ones, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't
What's the
distinguishing.
difference?
I think badgers are like little rodent adjacent things.
Yeah, and honey badgers are like mean motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think I was thinking of honey badgers.
I was
when
thinking
said
honey
it.
badgers.
Yeah,
I didn't
there we
even
go.
know that there's a difference in badgers. Wow. All right. Well, there goes my
All right,
weekend.
an ox.
Wait, there's an ox at the zoo.
The polar bear. There
I
is,
want to see
yeah.
Kawhi Leonard
Really
just.
an ox at the zoo?
I want to see Kawhi Leonard
That
punch an
one's
ox in the face. This sounds
It's
great.
an African one. It has crazy horns.
okay.
Like a herd of peacocks.
Yeah, the peacocks that just roam around the zoo. Yeah.
Just loose peacocks trucking around.
There are
Punching
loose
his way
peacocks at the
through.
zoo. During the day, they just let them roam.
So they just attack him at will.
Oh my God. That reminds me, my mother-in-law, who was very, very sweet, she grew up on a farm in a small town in Manitoba called Souris. And one day she just dropped on us like, oh yeah, like the peacocks that used to roam around. And we were like, what? And she said that someone in the town imported a bunch of peacocks and then stopped taking care of them. And they would just wander around loose.
That's magical.
Until the winter.
Yeah, I was like, did you grow up in a Wes Anderson film? This is insane.
Then there were some really cool ice sculptures that were very stinky in the spring, right? Like,
you
I'm
had
not
to
a
make it
zoologist.
sad.
I didn't make it sad.
I would have.
Someone
I would have
released-
made it sad.
I made it sad.
It's normally don't yuck my yum. That's my thing.
I would say that the person who let the peacocks in the frozen wasteland made it sad.
True.
Yes, fair enough. Well, we'll
would kill
see.
the messenger.
As we'll wait for more reporting to see if any of those were on the table when Kawhi was renegotiating that, and a 3-minute tangent about what is and isn't at the Toronto Zoo and whether badgers are dangerous.
Badger
That'll go
slash honey
viral for
badger.
sure.
Yeah, sure. Well, before we move on to our grand final, which is the quiz, I want to say a big shout out to you. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Thank you for sticking with us while we were on hiatus for a month. And, we're so appreciative. If you haven't already, feel free to jump on your app of choice, your podcast app of choice, give us 5 stars, leave a review, talk about all the things we did right. Maybe, forewarn us if we're about to be canceled for the Charlie Kirk stuff. Whatever you want to do.
Aww.
Also, feel free to tell a friend, post on social media, share our clips. It all helps us get more listeners, which helps us make an even better podcast. So thank you so much. And if you are so inclined to support us monetarily, you can do so at patreon.com/thebeaverton. At that lovely website, you not only get to help us, you get bonus content, extra articles every week. Every week's a big stretch, but every week you do get an extended cut of the podcast featuring a story we do not cover on the regular part of the podcast.
It's every week.
This week we dove into the situation in Nepal, which is a wild story,
There's
and we went
lollipops.
off the rails on it.
Free pizza.
Anyways, check us out, patreon.com/thebeaverton. Fine, I'll write a new article every week, okay? Right now I'm not doing
Why
it.
are you
but I'm
the
gonna
only
do it.
honest person on the internet? What are we doing?
When I die, please canonize me, okay? Remember me as the honest man that I was. Anyways, and now it is time for the approximately 10-minute long quiz.
It's the approximately 10-minute long quiz. Brought to you by Time.
Every week I ask our panel to play the approximately 10-minute long quiz where I put their knowledge of some less widely reported news stories to the test. And panel, this first question is a new game that I'm calling Two News and a Lie, where I read you 3 news stories, 2 of which are real, 1 of which is bullshit, and you have to tell me which one is bullshit. So here are your 3 news stories. UK doctor leaves surgery to have sex with nurse. California's serial butt sniffer arrested again. McDonald's opens first all-you-can-eat buffet.
I hate the fact that I think the lie is the McDonald's buffet.
I know. I feel like that's the most feasible one,
I will
right?
say, though, California's cereal butt sniffer is perfect.
1,000%
Very
happened.
funny.
There's no way that did not happen.
Yeah, no, just
I don't
the
know
string
why.
of words is just like chef's kiss.
Oh, that
Viscerally.
definitely happened, but Brett Ratner's lawyers have assured him they'll get him back on the streets ASAP.
All right, Ian, so we got 2 votes for McDonald's. Ian,
I'm going UK doctor.
UK doctor?
Yeah.
Oh, you have so much faith
Wait, what
in-
surgery? What kind of surgery?
You know what? I don't know of it.
Boner surgery.
I got details, but I didn't get the surgery yet. He was operating
It's on
on a patient's
himself.
penis, and that made him so horny. He just had to go bang right away.
so hot.
That's why it's got to be true.
Yeah, okay. So, wait, you said that was the one that's a lie.
pick the lie.
Then you're picking the lie.
No, you're right. Okay, that's
say
the
that
lie.
was
Fine,
right.
that's the lie. Damn it.
All right,
Suck yourself.
All right, points to Nile and Clare from McDonald's. That is the lie. That is a fake story that went viral this week from the Branson area breaking news satirical Facebook page, which is a satirical news Facebook page devoted just to the news of Branson, Missouri. Not Missouri wide. Not Missouri wide. St. Louis people wouldn't get this stuff.
Wait, are
It
these
just has to be
Branson people
Branson.
coming for our racket?
Yeah, I'm sure. They don't even have a website, but yeah, they're coming for us.
We gotta do like a crossover. I think this is great.
Their
find your
podcast is
niche.
killing it.
Find your niche.
Yeah.
But yes, so that's the fake one. The California serial butt sniffer is exactly what the headline would describe. It's a man who loves sniffing butts.
We all knew.
And follows women around and sniffs their butts,
all
and
knew.
that's real.
Oh,
gross.
that's less funny than I thought.
Yeah. No, it's bad.
Yeah.
And but
Just
he's been-
women?
well, you know what? I didn't check that. I believe it's women, but I didn't check. But he's been
probably
released to the custody of a local dog
Statistically,
park, so it's fine.
Yeah.
And then the UK doctor is a married father of 3.
Shocker.
Dr. Andrew and an
Father of
unnamed
4 now.
nurse were caught in a compromising position by a shocked colleague who walked in on the pair at a hospital in Greater Manchester. The anesthetist had asked a colleague to monitor the male patient, so maybe it was a boner surgery, we don't know, who was under general anesthetic so he could go to the bathroom. Instead, he was gone for 8 minutes, went to a different operating theater and had sex with the nurse.
And was there surgery
Anesthetist?
happening in the other theater?
I would assume not. What? I've seen Grey's Anatomy. Where are the rooms with the beds that they're supposed to sleep but just bang in? Why are they going to
bang
operating
rooms.
theaters?
Listen, there's been a lot of cuts to UK health programs, from what I understand.
Yeah, the
first thing they go is the
NHS
bang
got rid of
rooms.
the bang
They
rooms?
lose the bang rooms.
Fucking
brutal.
Boris Johnson, man.
Brutal.
Needs to go.
That's Brexit right there. See?
They
You
took
thought
the
it was
bang
cute.
rooms.
No bang rooms.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, there's horny, and then there's nurse watch the patient. I gotta go have sex right now.
You have a problem.
Anesthetist.
You actually have a problem.
That's the worst
That's
person
very
to leave
dangerous.
the room.
That is super dangerous.
Other than the actual surgeon, I would say yes.
I don't know, man. I would rather have the person controlling whether I'm still awake
Yeah.
or
And-
asleep
or
under
breathing.
surgery.
Yeah.
And I'd rather the doctor leave for a bit.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I guess without the surgeon, well, yeah, depending on where the phase of the surgery they're at.
Yes.
Anyway.
Why do you
Is it
even
just
gotta
like-
leave? The person's asleep.
Well, because then you gotta. Never mind.
I'm thinking from the point of view of the creep here, but
Yeah. No, I got that. Yes. So, okay. So 1 point to Claire, 1 point to Nile. Next question. Why did a Newfoundland and Labrador government paper calling for regulation of AI have to be hastily rewritten shortly after its release?
because it was written by filthy humans who can't be allowed to constrain AI.
I was going to say it was written by a toddler in a newspaper sweatshop.
A newspaper sweatshop. Okay. Is that where they write the newspapers or print the newspapers?
Oh, right.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Like in the 40s?
Yeah.
Time traveling toddler.
Those Victorian like
Please, sir.
sweatshops. Yeah. Please send me. I have some news headlines.
I couldn't think of a joke because I'm pretty sure I know.
To give you the real answer, that's fine.
The real answer is that it was written by.
Of course.
That's insane.
Yes, it contained at least 15 fabricated citations that academics believe were generated by an AI language model. it's one of those things that's like, there's no other context where that would happen. It's like, oh, I need to do something to regulate something. Let me let that thing write this thing. Like, it'd be like, hey, I need to write the laws on banning butt sniffing. Who do I go to? California's serial butt sniffer, okay? Like, you wouldn't do that.
I mean, yeah.
Is now to be punished with a free
Claire's right.
treat.
Yeah, you
Claire's
joke,
right.
but
This is the ins and outs of the
It's
trade.
like when they hire someone who's a hacker to protect the system, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
for sure
Yeah.
you go to the butt sniffer.
Yeah, that thing they do in TV shows and not real life, yes.
you guys joke, but the California serial butt sniffer is Gavin Newsom.
Oh, yeah. So, yes, I kind of figured you guys would clue onto that one pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Our next question, what advice did Doug Ford give to unemployed young Canadians looking for work?
Deal hash.
Do crime.
I like that yours is like omnibus, like you're the umbrella, and then he's like specifically the crime of dealing hash.
I had smoke hash.
You don't make any money from it.
Yeah, no, but it loosens you up, then you're in the flow.
Right, for the job interview.
Yeah,
You'll be
for
chill.
sure.
You know who we
That
want to
is the
hire? That
problem.
guy who was clearly high on hash to be this lawyer.
I have been high on hash since I got here. That's how I got this podcast. All right.
Yeah.
Yes. Does anyone have the real answer for me?
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't he just say work harder or try harder?
So close. Yeah, basically.
Stop being so
He
lazy.
said look harder.
Yeah.
Look, harder.
Because the implication is they're not just looking for the jobs. They're
amazing.
saying they can't find work because they just haven't looked around
That's
enough.
what I've been doing wrong. I'm not looking
That
for
is
the
always
job.
the infuriating. Like he genuinely. Do you think he believes that? Do you think he's like they're
Yeah,
not
100%.
looking?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a full
Like
on.
it
In
never
my
occurred to
day, I walked around with my resume, and
was
my
the
dad said you're hired,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
But yeah, no. This was in the wake of Statistics Canada reporting Ontario has shed 2,600 jobs. Sorry, 26,000 jobs in August.
That's much worse.
The most of any province. Much
That
worse.
is- that
10
is-
times worse.
yeah.
So yeah, people in the province were so outraged that Ford's poll numbers only went up 3 points this week instead of 5 because this man cannot not get elected in this province apparently.
I mean, they can also be just copper miners, right? Like this.
Yeah, that's true.
Huge future in it.
It's shift work.
Yeah.
Because you got to wait until people are
Yeah.
asleep. But
Once
yeah,
we figure out what this job
rip
is,
and rob, buddy.
jobs galore.
All right. I think that's 2 points to Claire, 2 points to Nile. A Winnipeg man is suing a grocery store for personal injuries suffered while on its property. In what unusual way does the man claim he was injured?
He hurt his neck trying to sniff a butt. The guy's moved up from California.
I mean,
See what I mean?
yeah. I mean, there can be Winnipeg can have a
copycat.
serial butt
Copycat
sniffer
sniffer.
too. Copycat sniffer. It's very funny.
He claimed he was attacked by the automated self-checkout, which is exactly the kind of lie a filthy human would say.
Are we trying to get pro AI ads and copper ads? Is that the goal?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, sweet.
Oh man, we've turned so evil. I'll say he saw the price of beef and had a stroke.
Nice.
That's great. And
That is very good.
That's
That is
very good.
Very
I want to
true.
give you a point for that. Sadly, it is not accurate. He got beat up while trying to steal someone's car from the parking lot. So he swiped. So he swiped a coat, and the coat had the guy's car keys in it. And then he left with just the coat, and because it also had some cash in it. And then 20 minutes later, I guess he lived nearby. He was like, you know what? I should go back for the car. And so he went back for the car. And at that point, the staff who had clued into what was happening made, I guess you'd call a citizen's arrest, which did very much involve beating this man up. I'm not pretending it didn't.
This was an employee's coat.
I would assume. It did not say in the story.
My first thought was
Right.
like,
What grocery
who takes
store?
off
Yeah.
their coat when they go to the grocery
Right,
store?
yeah.
right,
Let's
right,
do some
right.
shopping.
You don't want to fuck with those cart guys out there. They are maniacs.
How did he get the coat? These are not. These are not the point. Let's move on.
Unclear from all the story, but yes. I would also love to see the statement of claim being like, due to his injuries, he lost a ton of money. He couldn't rob anyone for weeks at a time.
He's applied for EI, just filling in like petty thief.
His robin fingers got broken.
Who is covering his legal fees? Like, how does he have money for a lawsuit?
Well, I can tell you from, again, having worked in this area for a long time, personal injury lawyers, there's no, they just take a cut of your settlement. They don't, or your payout from the jury. They don't charge you up front.
That's astounding. And
Usually. I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions, but
This is a
usually.
terrible lottery ticket for that lawyer.
Yeah.
You're the legal person. Is this like a good, like, I might make some money off of this? Because this feels like a long shot from someone with no legal training.
I would imagine it's
Yeah.
not a lawyer who's doing his best. It's not the best personal injury lawyer in
That's his
Manitoba took this
slogan?
case.
I'm doing my best.
Do
It's
my
like,
best.
it's like that John Mulaney joke, but like if you want drugs, you don't go to the best doctor, you go to the guy who needs the work.
Okay.
This lawyer might be in that kind of boat.
Right. Or maybe it's just chat.
Yeah.
ChatGPT. Help me run through a civil
He
suit.
wrote an AI paper, and now he's running some personal injury claims, you know?
Oh, man.
Not actually the first time that's happened.
Yeah, I
So
know. Yep.
Not the first time they've made up legal precedents that don't
that's what I mean.
exist.
Like, yeah.
That's going to help us with our copper defense, too.
Oh, great.
Just occurred to me.
Last question. This is complete the headline. Going to read the headlines, missing some words. Fill it in. BC man given DUI for driving under the influence while driving a...
Weed-powered car.
Clown car on the freeway.
Very good.
I was going to say, mine's not funny enough. Let's move on.
Okay.
Watch it be the real thing.
Do you want to say it in case it's the real thing?
Go.
All right. Any guesses on the real thing?
No.
This started to make your guys' feet. I saw this a bunch. I thought it might be everywhere. He was driving a pink Barbie Jeep toy car,
Dope.
like one of those little
I did
toy
see that.
cars that kids
Oh,
drive.
okay.
And yeah, and
Like
so
a Power Wheels
yes,
or- yeah.
yeah. But it was bright pink. It was Barbie themed. Yeah. And so essentially, this was at 9 a.m. It's rush hour, and this guy was obviously fucked up and decided he wanted a Slurpee. Knew he couldn't drive a car, but decided to go in the
How
middle
responsible of him.
In the, I mean, sort of.
That's next level drunk.
Yeah.
That is next level
I mean, there might have been
drunk.
other stuff in place too, but
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so, and he was defending, he was asked, and he was like, what? I used hand signals to indicate where I was going, so it was pretty safe. And the cops were like, but you're so low, no one could see. It was very dangerous. You were crossing a big intersection, so that's why they pulled him over originally. And then, of course, it smelled alcohol probably and other things. You know, on one hand, kind of kudos for not getting behind a real car. But on the other hand, if you're trying to stay inconspicuous, a 6 foot, 200-pound adult man behind the wheel of a child's pink Jeep is maybe not the right way to go. So
How do you drive these things? Are they battery powered?
batteries? Yeah.
Oh,
They last for about 3 minutes. So he
Wow.
I mean, on a full charge, maybe 4.
Wow.
So yeah, he had to get that Slurpee and get back. Or maybe he figured he'd walk home while pushing
wait.
the thing, the way I have had to do many times.
I know. I was gonna say, is he just like Fred Flintstone? Because
Yeah.
like he's on the high.
No, he was on. It was a busy intersection, but not on
okay,
that way.
okay,
Yeah. He was on. I forget the names of the road, but it was like a relatively busy road
That
at
is-
9 a.m.
Those things move like 2 miles an hour.
You know
Why
what?
didn't he just walk?
You know when you get
It's
fucked
drug
up,
the
man.
drugs.
You know when you get impressed by like a wrong thing?
Yeah.
This impresses me.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, that's the kind of intoxication where your body should be asleep. Like there should be just like a kill switch where you're like, oh, we're too fucked up.
You've powered through
You
it
can't
though,
be
and you're
awake, but
achieving.
somehow he's awake. I'm like, I'm low key impressed.
There
Yeah.
are a lot of drugs that can do that to you.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, at the end of our quiz, we have a tie. Claire and Nile, time for the victory. Congratulations. Claire, you go first on a plug if you would like.
Okay, you can find me on Blue Sky at Clare Blackwood, and I'm also on YouTube. Please subscribe to me at It's Clare Blackwood.
And
Awesome.
You want to
No?
talk about the Blue Jays?
Fuck yeah, I always want to talk
on,
about
this
the
is
Blue
your
Jays.
moment.
Yeah.
Nothing? We're apparently doing very well. I am at my Good News podcast, Total Annihilation. Give that a listen if you want a chaser.
Awesome. Ian?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm still writing for the Beaverton. Go look at that.
Yeah, do that, please. He has written some hilarious articles. Claire wrote a hilarious article that is up about the whole Charlie Kirk standing ovation. So yeah, check out thebeaverton.com.
Ice cream, free ice cream every week.
Yes. Thank you for just constantly upping the score. Let's
do it.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Also, I'll throw out a plug. Why not just subscribe to our newsletter, which I do send out every week. So subscribe to the newsletter. You can sign up at thebeaverton.com/newsletter. And that way you get all our funny stuff brought to your inbox every Sunday. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much for listening. And we'll be back every week until we decide to not be anymore. But we'll be back every week.
It's a real conditional thing.
The Beaverton Weekly Report is produced by Andrew Rivalme in partnership with the From Superheroes Network. Visit FromSuperheroes.com to hear more great podcasts like this.